Praise God, folks. How are you this afternoon? I'll be brief. And this is about, yes, the 1955 lynching of poor little 14-year-old Emmett Till. And the case, strangely enough, is going to be open or has been opened again by President Trump and, yes, Jeff Sessions. Now, I don't always agree with President Trump. No, I mean, but I'm glad he did this because this left a stain on over a woman's lie. That white woman lied on him. But remember, this is 1955 Mississippi. But then again, look at how things are going today. I'm just going to give you a little information. Shannon Bream reported that the decision was precipitated in part by a new book from the author Timothy Tyson that contained new information. However, Tyson ripped the administration, saying that it is a deep irony and appalling hypocrisy that Jefferson, Beauregard, Sessions, and Donald Trump would pretend to care about African Americans. Emmett Till, a 14-year-old from Chicago, was kidnapped from his uncle's home in Money, Mississippi, and later found dead. I'm just going to give you a little information. How appalling, how disgusting, what a filthy disgrace. And they took the court 1 hour just to set these two clowns, these two jackasses free. What a stench in the nostril of God. They murdered that little innocent kid on that white woman. That woman lied. I don't care what color she lied. How horrible. Yes, I'm going to give you a little bit of information when I pull this up. I had it pull up. And you'll see how appalling. Emmett Till, 1941, until he was abducted from his uncle's house. He was murdered in 1955. The brutal abduction and murder of 14-year-old Emmett Till on August the 28th, 1955, galvanized the emerging civil rights movement. That really put fire in it. Emmett Till was born in, you already know, 1941, Chicago. And he grew up in the middle-class black neighborhood. And Little Emmett was visiting relatives in Money, Mississippi in 1955 when the 14-year-old was accused of whistling at Carolyn Brandt, a white woman who was a cashier at a grocery store, who admittedly told a bold-faced lie. 4 days later, Bryant's husband Roy and his half-brother J.W. Miller kidnapped Till, beat him, and shot him in the head. The men were tried for murder, but an all-white jury, the same as today. What a stench in the nostril of God. Hypocrites, murderers, kidnappers. Yes, this one time, I agree with President Trump. I'm so glad you opened up this case, because right now we have a country that's totally divided. Everybody's hating one another because of. Let's stick to this. That's for another thing. Let me say this again. They beat him, shot him in the head. The men were tried for murder, but an all-white jury of males acquitted them. Till's murder, an open casket, galvanized the emerging civil rights movement. I mean, this is just. Mamie and Louise Till, his father, separated in 1942, and 3 years later, the family received word from the army that the soldier had been, well, God forgive me, but his mother, what a strong, beautiful woman. Emmett Till's mother was, by all accounts, an extraordinary woman, defying the social constraints and discrimination she faced as an African-American woman growing up in the 20s and 30s. Mamie Till excelled both academically and professionally. She was a very professional woman, an intelligent woman. She was crying and screaming when she saw her son's face hacked to pieces. And there's some evidence that they had submerged the body in water over the lie of this woman. What a disgrace before God. Do you know how many innocent black men, and I'm not talking about a government manipulated fact. I can take you to all 4 states in the South right now where black people were lynched for nothing. But this is a child over a woman's lie. What a disgrace before God. But the Lord said, vengeance is mine. I shall repay. I say without God, it's impossible for man to change. The devil is a liar. His mother, she was only the 4th black student to graduate from suburban Chicago, predominantly white Argo Community High School. That's quite an achievement she made back then. I used to just like to sit and hear her talk, listening to her tapes. But what reason would President Trump and Jefferson Beauregard Sessions have for reopening of the Emmett Till case? Over 63 years ago, brutally lynched, murdered, kidnapped, and tortured, and these cats walked free. And they had a store there, which quite naturally, blacks used to go to. But after this brutal, horrific, terrible kidnapping, lynching, and murdering of an innocent young child, not a black person stepped foot in that store again, by all accounts. They went bankrupt too. But let me tell you, a young child, a young black child, innocent, how horrible. These people are going to pay. No lie can live forever. See, I did a video on Emmett Till before. What does it say? The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. No lie can live forever. The truth has to come out. And this is not the only one. I'm looking for countless others to come out. These cases to be reopened. Cold-blooded murder. Children. Do you understand? Children. Over a lie. I'm just going to give you a little bit more information. Emmett Till, who went by the nickname Bobo, grew up in a thriving middle-class black neighborhood in Chicago's South Side. How many thriving black communities do you have in America? Never mind. That's for another story. The neighborhood was a haven for black-owned businesses. How many black-owned businesses do you... Never mind. The streets he roamed as a child were lined with black-owned insurance companies, pharmacies, beauty salons, as well as nightclubs that drew the likes of Duke Ellington and Sarah Vaughan. And Louis Satchmo Armstrong, who was a neighbor of mine, yes, back in old New York, Queens, New York, as a matter of fact. You see the black communities in certain areas were thriving in cities in those days. And what's so sad about it is not even being duplicated now. We were more united and were more thriving more 60 years ago than we are today. Look at our communities today. Look at us. Black on black crime, rampant murder. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm just getting my feelings in this. Let me just. Those who knew Till best described him as a responsible, funny, and a high-spirited child. He was stricken with polio at the age of 5, but managed to make full recovery, save a slight study that remained with him the rest of his life. His mother often worked 12 hours a day. They were a hard-working family. She was a loving and caring mother. He was a decent young lad, a decent young fellow. But the fact I keep bringing up that woman lied. Carolyn, whatever the hell her last, she lied. She was a liar and a snake in the grass. The devil is a liar. And except you repent, you're going to pay for that. I know everybody don't judge. The Bible said make righteous judgments. But the Bible also says vengeance is mine. Bible said you hated me without a cause. Why hate you another human being without a cause? If we just learn to leave people the heck alone, the world will be a lot better off. Murdering kids, lynching children and innocent adults. This was the norm, and this had to go 63 years. And all these supposedly intellectual individuals. You see, it's an affair of the heart, not of the mind. Your heartfelt knowledge. Your heart is a feeling organ. It pumps blood throughout the body, but the heart has feelings. Do you understand me? To concoct such evil in your heart lets you know, never mind the intelligence that you have, that you are wicked and no good and will be judged by the God of all. Praise God. This is a disgrace. And I thank you. I'm glad. One thing, I'm glad President Trump is reopening this case. I don't know what his reasons are, but thank God he is. Praise God. Folks, I'm not a racist, but pray for America. You really need it. And I just want to thank all the different races in white, because not all white people not all are racist. Not all black people are racist. And I thank y'all for fighting, everybody for fighting to get this case reopened about this innocent young child from the city. But you see the difference in the thought from the country to the city? You know, it's just not much different now. Believe me, I've seen it. What a sick world. That's why I pray every day, you know, to God be the glory. You know, we have to get it right, folks. I want to tell you something. I can feel a major military confrontation. You know, that evil spirit is roaming. You can feel it. Look at how hateful the whole world is revolving on hatred. Hating people because of the language they speak or the color of their skin. All I can say is pray, folks. We really need it. And black folks, look here. We have to hold each other accountable. Stop murdering each other and killing kids also. And stop it. Stop it and blaming other people. Just stop it. This is madness. Stop destroying one another and blaming on other people. Stop it. Put those guns down and pick you up a book and go back to school. Praise God. And praise God so he can give us direction. We're making ourselves out of a laughing stock in front of the entire world. We're better than this. God bless.